All right, I'm going to do that thing that I do every episode. I'm going to say, here's the reminder to subscribe on the DL anywhere you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Also, head over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel on the DL with Danielle and Linda. Thank you.
And welcome back to another episode of On the DL.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Linda.
Hello. Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Not a whole lot.
We've been out for a minute.
I know.
We're doing this thing now where we record like a couple of episodes at a time. And so we only get in the studio like
And it's weird because we're like genuinely so busy that I don't see you.
Yeah.
Unless we're recording. And I'm like, this is weird.
It was weird.
I'm like, we are friends. Like,
yeah.
Let's not forget. Oh, wait, no, I saw you on Tuesday for the fireworks.
Yeah, those fireworks were severely underwhelming.
Yeah, I want to actually talk about that.
Okay.
One, I've realized that once you get to like a certain point for me in your life, fireworks are not fun anymore. I want them to be. I want it to be fun. It's not fun. They're not fun to me.
Do you think it was because we were sober? I mean, I was totally sober.
I was stone cold sober.
So I don't know if maybe we need to take mushrooms or what.
You know, I've never tried mushroom. No, I had the mushroom chocolate.
It made me nauseous, that chocolate.
Did I tell you the story of when I took the mushroom chocolate?
No.
Oh my God. Wait, no, what do you mean? You woke me up at 2:30 in the morning.
I did?
Was it that time?
No.
Or was I drunk? Okay, there was many times where you had to wake me up. Remember when we were going to Austin, Texas, and you came into my...
I had to break into your house, yeah.
Yeah, to wake me up. But I had taken mushroom chocolate, and they were like, oh, 1 to 3 little squares is microdosing. No, what the fuck, it's not. If you've never taken mushroom chocolate, 1 to 3 squares will fuck you up. I was in the shower. I kept going upstairs, downstairs, and I had people over. And they're like, are you in the shower? And I'm like, I just need a shower. The walls were melting. I was like, this isn't fun. I was like, I don't like this.
No, I just felt really nauseous and I had to go to bed. And I was like, should I have just taken more?
More mushroom chocolate?
If like the walls were melting, I would have felt okay. But I just felt nauseous. I felt nothing but nausea.
Yeah.
Wasn't good.
Yeah.
I told somebody that story from the embarrassing sex stories today.
Of the woman that drugged the man?
She goes, why did she do that? I go, but
right.
My question is, how did she know that she liked it?
Yes.
That's the question of the hour at all times.
There was I was talking to somebody and they were saying how there is like a whole entire like psychology behind wanting to be peed on and shitted on, and
well, it's like degradation, right? Like being degraded. Like it's that's like a kink where you want someone to talk down to you. Want someone to say that
he kind of like broke down the psychology, but I half listened, so I don't actually know what he was saying. Well, but there's like a whole psychology behind it.
It's got to stem obviously something from childhood, because you know what? Everything stems from childhood.
Everything.
So like.
I walk funny, and I'm like, this was something happened to me.
Something happened to me when I actually had a boyfriend once that wanted me to tell him that his dick was really tiny and tell me that you can't feel it. And I'm like, what?
What?
I was like, what? I liked it, and I was like really uncomfortable because I was like, well, that's
he wanted you to tell him that his dick was small.
Yeah.
And that turned him on.
Yeah. I was like,
I don't have any
tell me you can't feel it. I'm like, I like didn't know what I was like. Oh, I go, but that's like,
how do you find pleasure in that?
I don't know. It's like a like they want to feel degraded.
Like I understand like wanting to physically get like whipped with like the chains and the whips and the blah,
or like
blah,
being restrained.
Yeah, like even bondage. I'm like, I personally wouldn't do it, but like, okay, cool. Like that's a kink. That. The pooping, the feces and like that kind of stuff. I can't wrap my head around that one.
Well, when I told the story about that, the girl was like, yeah, I like heard this thing about like how people like lay under a glass table and like the other person will like squat over the table and like poop on the table and it'll be like it's coming at them, but it doesn't actually touch them. And I'm like, I don't know if I like want to watch poop come out of a butt.
Yeah, there's too many layers to this. Do you have to eat something specific? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of questions. What if you eat corn?
Ew.
Okay, sorry.
So a couple, was that the last episode or 2 episodes ago? I don't remember.
Last episode was dating. Last released episode was about dating in 2024.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I put up a question on our Instagram, and you guys, it was, what do we think is wrong with dating and relationships in 2024? You know, we all know that it's hard out there, and I think I had said last time one of the reasons why we started this podcast was just to basically highlight all of my dating disasters, because it was like quite insane.
Yeah. I ended up in a relationship somehow.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'll do that too," and I was like, "Well, I have a boyfriend now."
Oh, you had your little clown era
Oh my
as well.
God.
But anyways, continuing on, like, we're really trying to dive a little bit deeper as to why people think it's such a dumpster fire. It's like, I'm not the only one that's had dating disasters, dating horror stories, like craziness going on. And I'm sure that people get turned on or turned off by like the kinks that some people come at them with. I remember talking to one of my girlfriends who was single at the time when she was dating, and I actually knew the person that she was going out on dates with. And I was like, oh, okay, like I know his ex-wife, like, you know, he's like divorced or whatever. And I remembered him when he was with the wife, and I was always like, but you know, you're supportive of your friends. And she was like, yeah. He's like asking me to send me like pussy pics and shit. And I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. And he would like really try to like pressure her into doing it. And I was like, ooh, babe, that doesn't sound like something that's very good for you. You probably should not talk to him anymore. And she tried a few dates with him, and then obviously it fizzled out, because like when someone's aggressive in that manner, it's like a turnoff, you know? It's one thing if you want to show everybody, or if you want to share those pictures. It's quite another if someone's trying to pressure you. So don't let anyone pressure you to do that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been pressured into something like that, because I just shoot it down. I'm like, I don't do that. Sorry.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of people ask me for a bunch of things.
Like, I've been in long distance relationships, and I'm like, you're not getting shit. You get a bikini pic. That's like the closest you get.
Yeah, that's cute.
I don't need anything resurfacing at some point in my life.
That's
Sorry,
the problem.
I don't.
And then you'll have people be like, "Oh, you really think I would share that?"
Like,
with
oh,
someone?
but I want to go watch porn, bro.
Bruh.
Just go watch some porn. It's gonna be better than whatever the fuck I do. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm not a professional.
I don't know. The lighting's off. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Awkward hand or some shit. I'm good.
Not the awkward hand.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry,
good.
but like, have you ever like? I'm gonna get real here for a second. Have you ever tried to take a picture of your own butthole?
No, but I have tried to like see what my butthole looks like, because I've always been curious, because I'm like, did I shave enough? You know what I mean? So I had to ask. I asked my significant other. I said, "What's it look like?" You know?
Yeah, just like,
Because you see it more than I do. I can't see it, right?
Yeah.
And all he said was, "You and your butthole are best friends." And I'm like, that's not what I asked.
No, I want to know.
I want to know. And he just said, "Your butthole's perfect." And I'm like, no, I want to know, because there's some guys, if they see a little bum fluff,
not the bum fluff. Everyone has butt hair. Can we please, like, that is a normal thing.
no, get it waxed, bitch.
Yes, but everyone has it. And
Everyone
I'm sorry,
has
your
it.
hairy butthole, what's that look like?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember when you were obsessed with buttholes?
I still am. Well, here's the thing.
You were obsessed with buttholes, and I was like, you came in hot too with it. And I'm like, Danielle.
No, because I saw one that was like perfectly pink, and I was like, how is that possible? And then here's the thing. And when I started this, it's really because I tried taking a picture of my butthole, or I did take a picture of my butthole, and I was like, this is what it looks like?
What color was it?
It's brown.
Oh my God. So I actually wanted.
That's why I want to bleach it.
I want to bleach it too. Should we go to CVS after this and figure it out?
Yes.
And then I'll call you later. We won't FaceTime while it happens, but I'll call you later and ask you how it went.
How did it go? Is your butthole okay?
I don't want to see a picture, but like, let's talk about it. Let's debrief.
But that's one of the reasons why I was so obsessed, because I saw it and I was
bleaching.
like, wait a second. That's what it looks like. But that's what mine looks like when I took the picture. I was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my God.
Plus it was like a weird angle. Like, I don't know how to do it. I'm like not a photographer.
No.
Like, I don't know the perfect angle. So it just like, to me, did not look cute at all. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like shamed. I'm like, I'm never taking my pants off again.
You're like, no one can ever see this. No, sometimes I'll get into like my signature sex positions and I'll be like, what do I look like from behind? I'm not like inspecting my butthole. But like,
Yeah,
I
but
just
what does
want
it look like?
I want to see what I look like
Yeah.
from behind. And I've never like seen my butthole and been like, that looks disturbing. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, it's a butthole. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would 100%
I think I need a
bleach
better
it.
mirror or something. I don't know.
I need to talk to our fellow gay friends and ask them what they do.
There's like a whole lot, actually.
Yeah, they do like enemas and stuff. I'm like, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
do all
they
that.
call well, one of my gay friends calls it the plunge. He's like, I have to
Okay.
plunge. I'm like, what? You have to what?
It's a plunge.
Well, that's what they do to get ready for their nights.
Yeah, no, I mean you have to.
Because they want as little mess
unless
as
there
possible.
was somebody that
Who's
likes
into it. I feel like that could cause like a lot of UTIs if there's like a lot of poo.
Well, here's the thing too. Doing an enema too frequently is not healthy for you because you're fucking up the good bacteria in your butthole, like in your tract.
Oh.
You can really fuck up the good bacteria. That's why they say like even if you just do an enema period, not if you're gay or straight or whatever, just doing an enema period no matter who you are, not to do it too frequently because you could really
I've
mess
never
with
done one.
I'm terrified to do one. I'm good.
And
thank
I've also
you.
never done a colonoscopy. Is it colonoscopy?
Yeah.
Colonic. What's it? Right.
Colonoscopy is when they go up your butthole.
With the camera.
Yeah.
But like a colonic is like when they just like, you go to like a place to have them clean out your poops for you.
Crazy. I probably,
goes
I
crazy.
think I'd do that.
Like as a job?
No,
Oh,
no. Oh my
like-
God. Are you out of your mind? No, sedate me and take out whatever is inside.
Sedate me.
Take
Give
out
me
whatever is
some
going on.
drugs and then just have your way with me.
And then just, I don't got to know anything. Just get it out.
So a couple weeks ago, I did put a question up on our Instagram and I asked you guys what you think is wrong with dating. And, I got a lot of responses.
Yeah. How do we get into taking pictures of your butthole?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, moving
It
on.
started and here we are
Yeah.
now.
Moving on.
Moving right along. This one says men addicted to porn and alcohol.
That seems like a personal problem.
It does.
That I feel like she's been victimized of something. And not victimized, maybe like it's just not her thing.
Which
and
is fine.
She ended up with people who do stuff like that, like
Who
watch
do porn and alcohol?
and who do porn and
They
alcohol.
do porn and alcohol.
Yeah,
And
they
she's
do-
Like,
they
no,
do the
it's just like not
alcohol.
it.
They do the alcohol. That seems personal.
Well, I actually think that, like the porn specifically, alcohol could be like an entirely other issue because, like, I did date an alcoholic for many years, and that was a really large issue. But porn, like, I think that can kind of circle back to, like, the unrealistic expectation, the thinking that a woman should act in a certain way while they're in bed because they've seen it on porn. Like there's like this unhealthy like
What
thing.
kind of fucking guys are these people dating?
I'm sure they're out there.
Oh, 100% they're out
they're
there.
totally out there. I mean,
That's
like
true.
we can't, like we're not saying all people are like that,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
men are like that, but like there are definitely some that are like, "Ooh, she like, I don't know, like suck my dick and swallow all my cum," and I'm like, I don't really want to do that. Like I don't want to.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. Like, it depends on, like, how comfortable you are with your partner, right? If you're
True.
like, oh, I saw something, let's try it.
Yes,
I'd be like,
I love
okay,
that.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
same. Like, all right, cool. Like, let's try that. But if a guy is, like, insisting, like, oh, like, I want you to do X, Y, and Z, and it's just not your thing,
Yeah,
you might just not be compatible sexually.
which is fine.
And if that guy might find a girl who loves that, where he's like, "Ooh, do this, that, and the other now," and she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, 'cause you just
aren't-
wanna do
You
it.
guys aren't compatible. Okay, sexually compatible. I haven't been speaking English the last few days, so like I'm still buffering.
okay, not the
Sorry.
buffer.
But you guys aren't compatible sexually, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, don't try and stick a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, we say that a lot here.
You know.
Alcohol is a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to dating relationships. Of course, it like lowers inhibitions, like when you're going out and talking to somebody, but it can always get a little, we'd be on the weed. It can get a little slippery, you know? One person just said men. I'm like, oh, it's like not. Oh,
that sounds personal as well.
Yeah, she's like not okay.
No, she needs help.
This one is kind of long. So she says, no one desires the compromises for the love that they think they want. So
no
they
one desires
the compromise, like the changes. Love is work. This culture has no appreciation for things that take time to build and grow through. Everyone can swipe left when bored. It's sad, really, but ultimately where the world seems to be headed. Disassociated and disconnected. And then the little preach, she's getting a little preachy here. Be discerning, my friends. Choose the lover that brings you peace. Choose the lover that looks in your eyes. Choose the lover that apologizes. So there's like a lot going on in this.
Yeah.
But I do kind of agree.
I like that.
Yeah. It's very thoughtful.
Yeah.
I agree with the not wanting to compromise. And like we're in a climate.
Because it's easy. You're like, oh, you don't want to compromise? I could just find somebody who will understand that about me.
And there's also the not willing to give anything. And I think that comes from like a big that's like being unhealed, I think. Like I feel like when you are not as offended to come into something and be like and be willing to kind of be like, okay, like maybe I could work with this, or no, like it's boundaries are boundaries. Like if you have a boundary that's, you know, this can't happen for me to be in a relationship with somebody, then adhere to that.
Yeah.
But if there's something that maybe you can give a little wiggle room on because like, oh, this could work, but also not falling in love with the potential of what it could be.
Yeah. I think it's tricky.
It can be.
It's tricky because I think it's also like there are certain things that you shouldn't have to put up with.
Sure, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like you were talking about, like there's these trauma. Like there are certain relationships that you end up being in. Somebody said something to me recently, and I'm going to try and remember. Falling in love with what you need, basically, rather than what you think you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like something familiar, whether it's like abuse or whatever. So you end up gravitating to something that's familiar.
Yes.
So in your head, you're like, this is correct. Like, this is right. I saw my mom compromise with this, or I saw my father compromise with this. This is what love is. They're still together or whatever. Because it's like your mom or your whoever parent, you know, was able to compromise with that and be like, oh, well, you know, if I just keep my mouth shut, you know, my day is so much better. We don't fight if I just keep my mouth shut. So I think there's a fine line with compromise, being able to reciprocate. And I've said this so many times on this podcast. Like, if you ask for something from somebody and you cannot reciprocate that, you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm demanding love, but I'm not going to show you love.
No. And we're not talking about like a quid pro quo situation.
Right.
Like, if you don't do this, I'm not going to do this. It's more that like it shouldn't have to be begged for. Like, if I got your back, like I got your back. Like, even though I'm not saying outwardly, you better have my back too. Like, it should just be like, no, we have each other's back. We help each other out.
Because that's who you're choosing to be friends with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what she's also saying. Like, be careful with who you choose.
Yep.
Be careful with who you choose. Because if you're talking about like forever with somebody, you're going to go through a lot of, should we do this or that? And there's going to be, oftentimes you guys are going to come to a fork in the road. Your significant other might be like, this is the right way to do it. And you might think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Being able to communicate with your significant other is literally the most important thing in a relationship. And it's not even like, you know, I saw something recently and I really, really liked it. And I wish I saved it. It was basically saying like, fighting in a relationship isn't the end of the world. It's what happens after your fight.
Yeah.
It's how productive your conversation is, how much the other person is willing to compromise, or if there is wiggle room for compromise from both parties, being able to communicate, being able to be like, okay, these were your triggers. This is how I triggered you. Let me make a note of that and not do it again. You know what I mean? Once you have those very productive conversations post argument or post tiff, whatever it is, and things persist, that person's not changing. You know what I mean? So there's where the compromise needs to stop. Because I'm reciprocating the compromise, you're not.
That's a very reflective statement. You know, like we want to make sure that whoever we choose to be in a relationship with is giving the same energy that we're giving.
Right.
It's not a lot to ask. Okay. Ooh, a boy said this. Lack of self-reflection and introspection. Unwillingness to compromise or admit fault. That's a big one. Admitting fault. Taking accountability.
Actually, I'm learning this right now. I'm working on it.
It's hard.
It is. I didn't realize how hard it is.
Well, because who wants to admit they're wrong? I'm not wrong.
I didn't even know that there was things wrong with me. First of all, give me some time. Okay? I didn't know that things were wrong with me. So first of all, don't come at me sideways. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in a relationship and you come at me sideways, I'm not going to respond well. There is a way to approach me when you want to, if you care about me. Like if you did something and it's a problem in your life, I'm going to approach Danielle in a way that's not like where you're not going to be on the defense. You know what I mean? Where you're not going to be like having to defend yourself. I'm going to bring it up in a way that's like, hey, this is what I noticed, or however I would bring it up with you. There is a way of bringing things up. So yes, I agree with
delivery is half the battle, more than half the battle, I think.
Is more than half the battle. So if you're coming at your significant other and you're like, well, I told her that she's whatever, and she's not showing any signs of introspect or whatever the fuck that word is.
Introspection.
You probably came at her like a fucking dick or an asshole.
Maybe
learn how to talk to her. And then if you go in a really nice manner, you should know your significant other. You should know how to talk to your significant other. And you should know what would trigger them. And it still doesn't work, then fine, I agree. But
well, I think anybody would be triggered.
Me trying to defend myself, even though this isn't about me.
if you come at somebody saying you did this, and like if you're pointing,
you need to change this about you.
So like when you start coming at someone in that way, it automatically brings up a defense. Like
absolutely,
whoa, like,
you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere.
So instead, kind of be like, hey, I'm feeling this way because of whatever. I feel like this. Like it's like always kind of bringing it back. And I'm not saying to always be like, oh, it's like me. It's just I'm feeling like this, and I'm feeling like this because of this.
Yeah.
And what can we do about it?
Right.
What can we do about this together?
Right.
Because this is how I'm feeling, and I would like not to feel it's this way.
Yeah.
And I find that when I approach things in that manner, it's a little easier.
It's way more productive
if they're reasonable.
Yes, if
they're
not
reasonable, are not reasonable.
Yeah,
sometimes it doesn't matter how you frame it. They're still going to feel defensive because, but that's a them thing.
Yes, I was about to say that's not you.
That's a them thing.
That's them. So yeah, I think people not being able to like admit to their faults. One, they probably don't know about it. You know what I mean? Two, I think there's also a little bit of compromise on the other side. Give that person some time to change
and grace. Yeah, give them grace.
Sometimes they might be on the get defensive, but it sinks into their head.
I think that not listening is, not just limited to you. I think there's a lot of people that are out there that have trouble paying attention, and we'll circle back to social media because this is, kind of in the same realm. Someone like us, we doom scroll for hours and hours and hours. Our attention span is only this much.
Yeah, seconds.
Because of how we're scrolling. We're moving on to the next thing. Can't listen to this. Don't want to listen to this. And you have so much coming at you. There's so much consumption happening with social media. So like it spills out into like life.
100%.
And I think you had mentioned in one of the last episodes where like, there's people that say, okay, I'm going to put my phone on do not disturb from like, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and don't fucking touch the phone.
You don't need to contact me. I'm not the president.
Well, that
even the president said, don't contact me after 8.
Absolutely not.
He said, I'm sleeping.
No, but like just putting your phone down or like limiting some of the social media, it really is an issue.
They're putting warning labels on social media now.
I know, you were telling me, because it's addictive, and it is, and it does. It spills out like now, like our attention span, like when we're talking to friends or partners or whatever, and it's like makes people feel like smaller. And social media was designed at first. Now there's like some nefarious shit going on with social media.
Nefarious,
and, like,
it's a big word.
It's not good. it's not good. But like when it was first designed, it was designed to bring people together, like to be able to talk to somebody that's across the world and you know, maybe join a group or a forum where like you have something in common with someone from, you know, Germany or South Africa or I don't know, Australia, wherever.
Yeah.
It was meant to bring the world together, to make it easier for people to communicate, to exchange ideas, to, you know, make it easier, right? That was the platform. And I, you know, with Facebook, you know, it started because they were trying. It was like
College.
it was like
It was
college.
like college, yeah.
And you know, obviously, it exploded to something bigger, and now it's even bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But originally, that was the plan, to bring everyone together. But now it kind of, it's almost like, yeah, I can talk to somebody that's in Australia, but like this person's that's sitting next to me, I don't know how. And that's not even with me growing up with this stuff. Like, imagine the generations behind us. That's all
what I'm saying.
they know.
But that's why a lot of them have anxiety too.
I have anxiety too.
Like, I remember my sister had anxiety to call like an order in. She's like, I could do that. I don't want to talk to anybody.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
You're like 20 years old. Stop it.
I had to have somebody call and book a hotel with me because for me because the dates that I wanted wasn't available online. And I was like, I don't want to call. And he's like, what do you mean you don't want to call? I'm like, I don't want to like talk to anyone on the phone. He goes, give me the phone. He like did it for me. Yeah. But I just like don't want to talk to anybody. It's bad because all I have to do is click, click, boom. And then whatever I want is at my door. Food, clothes, shoes.
You could literally never leave your home.
Booze, prostitutes.
Okay, dude. You literally wouldn't have to ever leave your home.
No, true.
If you really needed to stay home and just order things, you can. That's where once upon a time you didn't have to. But yeah, the overconsumption definitely fucks with your attention span for sure.
Which will spill out into relationships.
Yeah. So like if you have been told that you don't listen well, they're probably being honest and maybe just be aware. Just start looking. Don't change, but just start.
No, there's exercises that you can do to like help with some of the like getting your attention.
A lot of people don't even believe that they have a problem. You could say to somebody like, "Hey, you have a really hard time listening," and be like, "No, I don't." Absolutely not. And they'll fight tooth and nail to be like, "No, I don't." Okay.
Moving right along. Communication. That's a big, like this is like a reoccurring one. No communication. I had a stripper tell me once the hardest stuff to talk about is the shit you really need to talk about because it's uncomfortable.
Okay, the stripper,
because they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't care.
Communication, lack of accountability, being stubborn and selfish, which it's also
just
kind of like
terrible people.
But this is like, well, you know what? There's a lot of unpeeled people out there in the world. Unpeeled.
I like that.
Unhealed, I meant. Sorry. Did I say peeled?
No, I like unpeeled.
Yeah, those
peel
raw
that shit back.
Bananas.
Yeah. It's rotten inside. Peel it. Make it into banana bread.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Communication.
See, the attention span is just
this is what it all comes down to with communication. You know, just making sure that like your needs are known and then making sure that they're met and not feeling like you shouldn't need the things that you need to feel safe.
Yeah.
And
but sometimes you need to vocalize when you need something because the other person can't read your mind. If you need something and you vocalize it and it doesn't land well,
then that's that. Then,
that's
you know,
that.
honestly, that should be that.
Yeah. Just like sex, how you want to raise kids, not even how you want to raise kids, because obviously when kids come, things change. But like, talk about kids. Being able to like really communicate about just really like closeness, like really getting to know somebody, like getting to know them to their core. Ask fucking questions. Why doesn't anybody ask enough questions anymore?
I ask a lot of questions.
Oh, they're just like a vibe. It was a vibe. It's like, get to the nitty. Have you ever held a baby? Do you know how to feed a baby? Have you ever changed one? No. Next. Because that's going to be a problem for me.
Yeah, dude. We're not going to do all that shit by ourselves.
Communicate. You're not going to know unless you fucking ask. And if you're scared to ask, why are you dating? Or be with somebody who, I don't know, is the same as you.
What was there was like a meme a while back, and it said something like, if you're not dating for marriage, you're dating for heartbreak. And then underneath this girl wrote, I'm dating to get my vagina licked.
She's like,
Linda.
what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, I don't give a fuck.
You know, we talked about this on our last one. You know, if dating casually and casual sex is like that's what you're looking for, then maybe you don't have to
Just
talk.
be open about it.
Yeah, maybe you don't have to ask questions. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. If you want
if you're
kids,
in
if you don't want kids.
But if we're
But
talking
looking
relationship,
if we're looking for relationships or
we're
dating
talking about-
or dating with
Yeah.
intention.
I think that's what it is. That this is the problem. When we say the problem in dating, it's the problem people have that are looking for something serious and they can't land something serious. Because you said it in the last episode, you're not being upfront with what you're looking for in the beginning.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Like, I think that's like on dating apps, one of the prompts is what I'm looking for. Fucking list it out. The bigger
Yeah.
the list, the better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's your fucking resume, basically. It's like what your looks will catch somebody's eye.
Of course.
Your profile will get them to actually talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you can meet 10 people and they all might be the same, but one is going to stick out a lot more than the other with whatever it is. Just communicate from the beginning what you're looking for. If you're like, oh, this is just casual, like I'm just, on dating apps, it says, what are you looking for?
Something casual.
Something casual. Something short term. Something long term.
Yeah.
Be open and honest.
Yeah, that's going to be the number one issue in dating right now is that people are afraid to say what they want. And this is in my opinion. I'm sorry,
What
my
they
opinion,
want?
what they want, like
From a
being-
relationship?
from anything. Like
Okay.
like again, like you just said, be open about what you want from the jump.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for anything serious. I am looking for something serious. I want to get married. I want to have kids. And I think that there's like this stigma where if somebody comes out the gate swinging like that, it's scary. Oh, we just met. Yes, I understand that we just met, but like if that's not something you want, don't waste my fucking time.
So if you're serious about if those things are very important to you, trust me, the person who's looking for something serious, who's looking for a wife, who's looking for kids, you're not going to scare him away. You know who you're going to scare away? The guy who's trying to get pussy and trying to get to know you and see where it goes and whatever.
Go
And
away.
he's like, I don't know if I want kids. Next. That is the beauty of dating. Because you know what? If you can go on a date and that might not hit, go on to the next one. You have a roster. You like I said, the picture stands out. Their profile stands out. You start talking. Okay, I have a connection with X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. You meet them in person. You guys don't mesh. Next.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You don't have to wait for somebody to be like, I have a friend for you. And then the friend's ugly. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. That's so mean.
It's a lazy eye.
Stop. Got the lazy
I
eye?
don't know.
Someone said that on our TikTok. That lazy eye comment was meant for someone. We're like, actually, no, it's not.
That's the funny part. It actually wasn't. Because I actually don't. I have a lazy eye. I'm pretty sure I do.
I do too. It's this one. So yeah, communication was like another theme throughout. It was like social media, giving the impression that there's options, which I don't think it's a bad thing. Like we were just saying, like if you're dating with intention, you don't have to settle. You don't have to compromise those. I guess I don't know if they're boundaries, beliefs, morals. I don't know. Whatever we want to call them. We're like, no, I'm dating to get married. I'm dating to have kids. Like this is what I want in my life. You don't have to compromise those things. It's not. Don't have to like see where it goes with someone that's like, oh, you can see. No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I like the idea. So I like the idea that yes, there is options because there are going to be people that are going to be your people that want
to
do what you
land
want
right
to
away.
do. Exactly.
And the person that you scare away from like telling them exactly what you're looking for, obviously don't be aggressive and fucking weird. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I said it in the last episode. Just go on a date, like be yourself and just act like you're just meeting a new friend.
A friend. We like friends. So we were going to touch a little bit on. I feel like we can do another part to this because I still have like three more.
We have some more time.
I have 3 more pages of
3 more pages
of comments. like I said, general theme, communication, and social media were the general consensus. There's one that actually, I probably should touch on that. One response was general exhaustion.
What the fuck is that?
For the most part,
generally exhausted all the time.
For the most part, and in parentheses, it says, in America, everyone is so overworked and underpaid and generally tired. It is very hard to find additional emotional energy to support a partner. And to me, like and that is so true.
That is the most accurate. That's probably the most accurate response.
Because we are beaten down.
I want to be with somebody, but I'm
tired.
I need a nap.
And then I think that can also contribute because I saw another trend of lack of effort. So if we're looking at all of these things, I feel like we're all in the same boat, right?
Overworked and underpaid.
We are. We're all of us are underworked. We're doing a lot of shit. We're hustling. The hustle culture has really taken over.
Wild.
In the United States specifically, mode. I know we have listeners like overseas and like in other countries, but like in the United States, the being overworked is a real thing. And the hustle culture here is a little bit out of control.
It's insane. We're literally in survival mode.
Yeah, we're like beat over the head saying we should be doing more. Yeah. Whatever you're doing, it's not enough, do more. No one cares, work harder. Like literally. So that is another big thing. Like, I don't like if I was to start dating right now, I'd be like, I have time 2 Mondays from now after 7 p.m.
And even then, you got me for 2 hours max.
Because I got to go to bed. So, and that's a true statement. When I was dating, I was still pretty busy. Not as busy as I am now. But I was still pretty busy. And I'd be like, I genuinely don't have time until this day.
Well, I got broken up with over this. I got broken up with because I was genuinely so fucking busy. Like he was like, you're not, I mean, he was in a completely different place in his life, but he's like, you're not interested. And I'm like,
it's not that.
Because when I'm with you, it's fucking great and we're having a great time. I don't have time. So when this person's like, hey, you want to come to dinner tonight at like 5 o'clock? And I most likely am doing something.
I'm
by
still at work,
6:30.
Oh.
Like I got things to do. Like 6:30, I'm going X, Y, and Z, whether it's like a class or something. Like, so I felt really bad, but I was like, yeah, I can see you in like 2 Fridays from now. And he like literally lived a half hour away. You know what I mean? Like they didn't live that far, but it was like, I didn't have time so then he just slowly started slipping. And then I was like, hey, like, well, like, do you want to hang out? And he was just very honest with me. He's like, I honestly just don't feel like you have like the time to be dating right now. And I'm looking for something very serious. And I was like, oh,
you're not,
I just didn't, yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, no, that's another problem with dating in this era, this hustle till you die era. And it's a real problem,
It's a lot.
You're a real problem.
Well, that's why, like, for me, I'm like, I just got to work as much as I possibly can so that I could retire early somehow, if that's possible.
Oh, well, that whole, I feel like that whole
I'm going to take my little beans and I'm going to move to Costa Rica. My beans go a lot further in Costa Rica.
Okay, the beans.
Just live on a rainforest. Drink the water. Yeah, right. I don't like bugs.
I was like,
or animals.
I'm like, that sounds fucking terrible.
Or animals.
It's like, my God. If you're in the jungle, there's like mesquites.
Yeah, fuck those.
Mosquitoes.
I don't like the skeets.
Snakes. The monkeys come steal your shit too.
Those monkeys are ruthless.
Yo, they'll come out of the woods and just be like, not the woods.
Like,
they'll come out of the jungle and be like, this is mine, and they'll take your purse.
Bye.
And you'll never see it again.
I've seen some videos of like the monkeys taking their phones. They're like, you're never getting that phone back.
Nope. Don't let them touch it. No.
You'll be watching videos come up on your iCloud of monkeys. Monkey porn. I'm sure somebody's into some monkey porn. Continue.
Not the monkey porn. Do we want to keep going over?
Just a couple more.
Just a couple more. Okay.
Just because I have to cut out a lot in this episode.
Oh, because we're fucking around?
Yeah.
Unrealistic expectations. I kind of covered that a little bit when we were talking about the porn thing, but maybe the unrealistic expectation is because like there was another response that said men and women just meeting yesterday but wanting the benefits of a long-term relationship the next day. So like meeting someone and being like, no, we're in love, we're gonna like be doing this, and that sounds like a personal problem that this person has or like they've encountered, which I've seen. Because I've been love bombed. I've been
love bombed.
and you're just like, whoa, 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 wait, what? You love me?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm perfect, but like, this is all
Yeah.
so sudden. Like, I feel like that's like unrealistically, like when you start talking to someone and you're automatically thinking you should not be talking to anyone else, or you should not be entertaining anyone else if you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Like when we're dating in the beginning stages, you're like, and you're still trying to figure out what you want, unless you have like a hard, this is what I want. And if it's going to be you, like, let me know. If not, I'm going to move along.
Yeah.
I think we can kind of play devil's advocate with that because we don't want to compromise our boundaries. And still, it might be a little bit too much for someone coming right at the gate. I don't know.
I feel like with this specific, I think this is like it depends on how aggressive you are.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? If you hit it off like with my significant other, we had our first date. After the first date, I'm like, all right, I'm coming to your house. I want to see how you live. We're getting married. And that didn't scare him. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't scare him. He's like, okay.
I want to see how you live.
Yeah. And he made sure that shit was squeaky clean.
I'm dead.
So I don't know. I think it just, if you vibe, like, I've been in relationships before where it started off and it was like super like love bombing, but not in like a terrible way. But it was just like, I told him what I wanted. He told me what he wanted. It matched. We then deleted the app like a few days later. You know what I mean? It was just like we okay, cool. This is you hit home. Like this is like you're the roster is gone. It's you. I'm deleting the app. You could figure that out very quickly if you're honest, if you communicate, if you tell the person what you're looking for. There's nothing wrong with like, okay, cool. Like what's fucked up is when you are on a date with somebody and they are agreeing. Oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. You hit it off. It's an amazing date. It was supposed to be a 2-hour date. It becomes a 4-hour date. You guys ended up going somewhere else and it was this amazing blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, this is too much. And then he kind of like disappears for like a day or is like, well, I don't want you to feel like, you know, like we're in something. Let's take this slow. Fuck you. Next.
Oh,
goodbye.
Yeah, don't.
That can fuck with somebody. Like that can fuck with somebody. So why can't you just let it be organic? Why does it have to be a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, we hit it off really well, but it's like, it's going too fast. You have issues. Because if it's going really, really well, there's love bombing, yes. But if it's going very well and it happened organically and it's like a good vibe and he's what you're looking for, she is what you're looking for, there is nothing wrong with making sure that you're like, hey, I want to make sure that I'm standing out.
Yeah.
Like I want to text you in the morning and be like, good morning, hope you slept well.
Yep.
I thought about you. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that. So if you feel like, oh, they want to be in a relationship, then I think that's like a personal problem. Sorry.
Yeah.
Had to touch on that. Because I've been on both sides.
Yeah.
Where like a guy's like, ooh, he's trying to be like my boyfriend because I didn't like him.
Yeah. I think
then,
that should be like
the guy,
that's when the flag should go off.
And then like I loved a guy and like after I like left a day and I was like, I hope we get married. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you don't like them enough. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. You're right. Then you just don't like them.
You don't like them enough.
And leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like don't waste their time.
Yeah. You're wasting time.
Having lists of what you want from the other person while not wanting to put any effort whatsoever.
I feel like we've touched on this.
Yeah. This is all the same person.
Oh, okay.
My unrealistic expectations. Having the list. Always thinking there's someone better for you out there and overlooking a good person. Delusions. So that's all in the same. So this person's hurt in a real way.
Yeah. They've been hurt more than once.
I feel you, babe. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think that it all genuinely comes back to the same idea, circles back to the communication situation. And if someone's going to be dishonest and not, or tell you what you want to hear to like get you in whatever position they want to get you in, that's kind of like on them and not on you.
Yeah.
Like if that happens,
right.
Don't take it out on the next person, I feel like.
Agree.
Lack of communication. Oh, men and women who think they're capable of a relationship while they're still in one.
What?
Or not over the past one.
This is actually an area of my expertise. Just kidding.
It's confusing for sure. Like,
So you're in a relationship with somebody who's not over their ex,
I guess, yeah.
or you're trying to talk to somebody that
I think it's both.
who's not over their ex.
I think it's men and this is a generalization for this person who answered. They said men and women who think they're capable of a relationship while they're still in one. They're in a relationship, but they want you. Oh, I'm going to leave her or him. I'm going to leave them for you.
Well, first of all, why are you talking to that person?
Or
That's your first
well, they're
mistake.
not over their
That's
last one.
completely different. Those two shouldn't even be in the same fucking sentence, to be honest with you.
That's I don't know. Or maybe this one left their significant other for them and then never weren't over that last relationship.
This is messy.
This is a lot.
Okay.
But that's
let's dissect.
this is messy, but I don't think that it's uncommon.
Oh, 100%, Danielle. Think about it. We live in a world where you can fully vet out somebody.
Yep.
So you're getting very close to what you're looking for when you're in a relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
You live with them or whatever the case is. You don't even have to live with them, or you're with them for a few years, right? And then you break up. You don't just get over somebody.
No,
right?
It's like a mourning process.
And if you're with somebody who can't be alone or hasn't been alone for a really long time, number one thing I always ask on dates. Number one thing. And like I always say, I come rapid fire with you are in an interview, bring your fucking A game.
I know.
On our first date.
I remember that time that I hung out with that person and you were doing all the talking.
What do you guys fucking talk about? Like, I come in rapid fire. And if that scares you, I'm way too much for you because there's more to me than those fucking, that's me being nice. One of the biggest things, and I always, the guys that I typically date aren't scared of this question, but I always say, how long have you been single?
Mm-hmm.
And if they say, I said it to that guy that you were talking to.
Yep.
How long have you been single? I don't know.
I was like, you're scaring this
You don't
poor
know
person.
how long you've been single? I don't know. Ballpark. He said, I don't know. 6 months? I don't know. A year? I don't know. You don't know how long you've been single? I looked at you and I said, check this one because there's something wrong there. But it's like one of the first things I always ask, because if somebody says, oh, I haven't really been in a relationship for, I haven't dated somebody in 5 to 6 years, they're going to be picky. They're going to be very, very picky because they've gotten very comfortable with themselves.
Yep.
If somebody says, oh, I just got out of a relationship a month ago. Oh, how long were you guys together? We were together for 13 years. Ooh. Goodbye. Bye.
Oh, I'm nervous. That just made me sweat a little bit.
You got to go. No, I'm not the one for you.
No.
You know what I mean? You need to ask these questions. It goes back to communication and honesty. Fucking ask the questions. Let's normalize asking somebody how long they've been single. Let's be adults and touch on past relationships. So like I always say, like, again, rapid fire with the questions. You guys might not, want to do this, but it has never failed me. How long have you been single? This long. How long was your last relationship? This long. What happened? Why'd you guys break up? I create a very friend environment, very comfortable environment for them to open up to me. Oh, what happened? Oh my God, that was a long time. You guys were together for such a long time. What happened? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And if then she was fucking crazy and she did this, that, and the
you
other.
Don't wanna hear that.
No, you will learn so much about a person on the first fucking date if you ask the right questions. And like I said, if they're scared, if you ask somebody, how long have you been single? How long was that relationship? What happened? What did you learn? What role did you play in that breakup?
Yeah.
And if they're not self-aware or if they're not introspective.
We are learning big words today, huh?
So many words. And if they're not, there's your answer. You could literally not have to waste a single fucking day with this person ever again.
Yeah.
Sorry, you could literally, the vetting out process, let's go. I'm 30. I don't have time. The list has gotten bigger. The questions have gotten more important. Have you ever held a baby?
They've gotten more intense.
They've gotten intense. But I think it's very, like I said, being an adult, there's nothing wrong with talking about a past relationship. because it does shape who you are going to be in this
Yep.
next relationship.
Yeah.
It's going to shape how you communicate with your partner. Like I was on a date with somebody. He was with his ex for very, very, very long time. Very long. We're talking like 16 years. Like they were fucking babies. And he had only been broken up for like 10 months. So I was already turned off. But he was so hot that I was like, it's fine. I was like, it's okay. But when I asked those questions, he literally said, he was like, oh, it was me. He was like, it was me post whatever, this, that, and the other. I'm not going to get into his business, but like he really like opened up about the role that he played in the relationship kind of failing. And by the time he figured out what he was doing, it was too late.
Yeah.
They stayed best friends kind of thing. And he said, this is what I learned from it. And this is what I'm doing going forward. Because I don't ever want that to happen again. And I was just like, okay.
You want to get married?
Yeah.
Here's
my
my
problem is I was drinking too much at that time in my life.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm here to party. That was actually another person that was like, you're too busy for me.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you're going to be too busy to prioritize dating until you want it to be a priority.
Yeah.
And, you know,
100%.
you were in a space where you wanted to build your empire. And that is okay. That's okay. I feel like we're not going to shame people for not wanting to do certain things because I've got things that I want to do. And, you know, I do want to find love and I do want to settle down and, you know, maybe eventually get married and whatever. And when I'm ready to do that, then I'm ready to do that.
Yeah.
That's it. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm definitely at that point now where I'm like, right, I don't want to date, just date. I want to date with intention.
Yeah.
And I'm very open about it. And if you fuck with me,
forget it.
I will fuck you up.
I will ruin
I'll find
your life.
Hit your dad too.
Oh, don't fuck with me.
Him.
Don't fuck with me.
I'm at the age where I
age.
could date you
Or
and
your dad.
dad.
Don't fuck with me. You could be my stepson, bitch.
I love those stories when it was like, he broke my heart, so I married his dad. Now he's my stepson. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Come here, step baby. Let's go.
You want to go to the mall?
I'm dead.
I'll get you a cone. I think we're done.
I think that's it. We wanted to touch a little bit on like social media and the psychology of it, but basically everything that I read was when we're looking at social media, we're looking at the highlight reel, we're looking at like influencers, and I touched on this like in the last episode. We're looking at things that are not. I mean, they could be real, but we're only looking at all their good stuff.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the grass being greener on the other side. But, you know, that old adage, screen where you water it, it's cliche because it's fucking true. Like, it's where you water it. And honestly, it starts with you. Yeah. It starts with you. It starts with looking inward. It starts with, like, loving yourself. It's another cliche thing to say. Like, if you like yourself, you're going to start weeding out the people that are not for you right away. Just like that. This is not working for me. And not being mean about it or anything, just being like, you know what, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
And things are gonna speak to you differently when you're more in tune with like what you want.
Yeah.
When you're dating with intention. And I'm not saying that you have to date with intention either. If you want to go out and have fun, have at it if that's like what you want. But like when you're starting to look at yourself and look at what do I want in my life? How do I want to date? How do I want my life to look? And start there. This is what I want. And start working on the things that are going to build that foundation for you to find or attract that same person. That's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And that's that. And sorry for throwing in all those cliches in at the last minute.
All good. They're important.
They really are.
They really are important.
And like we said before, there's an ass for every seat or a seat for every ass, or I don't fucking know, whatever that is.
There's a what?
A seat for every ass.
I've heard of this.
An ass for every seat.
Yeah. An ass for every seat.
Yeah, whatever. Someone come sit on your seat, or you can ass on your seat.
What? Is this a butthole joke again?
No. You can find a seat for your ass.
Yeah, whatever. Go sit down. Sit your ass down.
Anyways, thanks for joining us for another episode.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram on the DL.pod, also on the DL.pod on TikTok. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you find your podcasts. You can find full videos on YouTube with some extra bonus moments. Make sure you just subscribe, guys, because we want to continue doing this. And that helps us the most if you subscribe and like our videos. Make sure you follow us because we do post some really funny clips. If you are not onto the YouTube scene, I know a lot of people are, some aren't. They're into the real scene. So just make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram so you do get to see us if you haven't already. Again, that's on the DL.pod. And that's it for today. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.